Welcome to Reader Seeks Romance Channel's Romance Roundup, the #1 romance book recs talk show. I am Liz Donatelli.
And I'm Libby Kay, author of the sweet romance series Buckeye Falls.
Libby and I are sharing our holiday romance recs and TBRs. And yes, there are alien holiday romances on my list. Watch Romance Roundup on Reader Seeks Romance Channel and subscribe on YouTube. Listen to Romance Roundup on PodBean and all podcast apps. Viewers and listeners can email us at readerseeksromance@yahoo.com and follow us on Instagram at LibbyKAuthor and at ReaderSeeksRomance. Hello, Libby.
Hello, Liz. How are you?
Oh, you know how much I love that question, but I'm going to answer it. I'm feeling festive and frisky.
Excellent. I was upset that I don't have my Christmas decorations out of storage because I wanted to put on my Santa hat.
No, it didn't even dawn on me to get out any decorations for this episode. So that was a huge misstep on my part.
So hopefully everyone's listening to this one and not watching it because they'll be disappointed with our lack of festiveness.
Maybe I'll throw in some festive music right about here. Let's dive right in.
All right.
Libby, let the roundup begin.
Giddy up, Liz. Here we go. I'm starting with the newest from Holly Cassidy. It's the Christmas Countdown from G. Putnam Sons. This one is not, I don't believe, connected to her book that came out last year, The Christmas Wager, which I was trying to think back to last year because that was a whole year ago. I don't know if I actually talked about this on the show as having read it or if I just said I was excited to, but I did read The Christmas Wager last year, and it was basically like a Hallmark movie or book on steroids because it was a little bit spicy. It was kind of sassy, but it had that small town vibe. So I've already gleefully ordered The Christmas Countdown because I loved The Christmas Wager so much. So it does seem to be a standalone, and the big trope that I kept finding is that ticking clock trope that we keep talking about, where time is of the essence for one reason or another. And the tagline is great. I love taglines when they're nice and like punchy and right on topic. This one is, she's given up on love and Christmas, but fate has other plans. I mean, come on. I love that crap. So, and this is just a 2-paragraph description, so you're going to love it because it's not very long. I know, granted, they're kind of long paragraphs, but there's only 2 of them.
Oh, there's 2 paragraphs, but they're really long?
Well, I mean, they're like longish. I don't know. Compared to the ones I usually do where I'm just constantly scrolling or trying to memorize things, this is actually pretty nice.
You had my hopes up that this was 2 concise paragraphs.
I will tell you, compared to all the other ones I'm going to describe, this is the most concise.
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
All right. Our general premise is, all Callie wants for Christmas is to hibernate. She's still reeling from being dumped by her childhood sweetheart, and under no circumstances will she go home for the holidays, considering her ex will be right next door with his new perfect partner. Callie is officially in Grinch mode, and her meddling sister Anita won't let her give up on life, love, or Christmas quite so easily. Anita stages a Christmas intervention for Callie with a homemade advent calendar challenge. It's cheerful little tasks to push Callie out of her comfort zone and into the holiday spirit. Callie reluctantly plays along, but when she comes face to face with the charming baker, who just might be the spoonful of sugar she needs, her strict rules on love and the holidays are tested. As they strike a deal to do the activities together, could these 24 little doors on Callie's advent calendar open up not only her holiday spirit, but their hearts?
I love anything that's almost like a scavenger hunt or a list of fun things to do. So I like the whole playing off of the advent calendar. Are there any examples on the back of there's no examples on the back of the book?
No examples. And I looked
on
Goodreads and on Amazon to see if it said anything. And I didn't even see an actual excerpt that I could read. Okay. I'm very hopeful that there's going to be a very nice cast of characters, because in the Christmas Wager, that was half the fun. It was similar. They had, I can't remember the exact premise. There was something with holiday ornaments, and there was activities around town that her and the love interest, that one was more of an enemies to lovers thing.
Yeah.
But they had to do them together, and the townspeople were just all insanely perfect and insane. but they really added to the story. So I'm hopeful, since this is, it has a timeline. I mean, I have a thing for bakers. I mean, at least in books. I've never dated a baker, and obviously I won't because I'm married, but you know where I'm going with this.
Well, I mean, you could.
Yeah.
I won't tell anybody.
It sounds perfectly cheesy, which is I mean, I read that anyway, but that's exactly what I want at the holidays. And again, I know we talk about this not as often recently. I can't remember the page count, but it was a very reasonable page count for a Christmas book. It wasn't one of these 400 page, telling some crazy epic story at Christmas. It's like, no, just give me something sweet, cute, and funny. It's described as being a rom-com. I'm going into it assuming it's not going to be what I think of as a rom-com with actual LOL moments. But I expect there to be hijinks because there was hijinks in Cassidy's other works. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, when I see rom-com now written, into the description, I'm like, okay, well, just remove that because don't expect any laughs. So if the rest of the story sounds good, read it. But I never go into it like, oh, I'm sure this is going to really be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's not. Yeah. And what's interesting is I think what I enjoy and appreciate about holiday and Christmas romances is the shorter page count. That seems to be across the board. They are shorter. And also, there's frequently a zany cast of characters, or at least a cast of characters. So, creating the cozy feel. So yeah, that's exciting.
That was the Christmas Countdown by Holly Cassidy, out October 22nd from G.P. Putnam Sons. So, Liz, what alien or monster shenanigans do you have coming up? Because I feel like it's going to be something crazy from your intro.
Well, kind of. So here we go. I already could hear you laughing before I even say it.
Should I mute myself?
No, it's okay. So I have selected a sci-fi holiday romance called Rudy, R-U-D-I. Okay.
Okay.
It's by Honey Phillips. It releases November 8th. And Rudy is part of the Rescued by the Alien collection, which is a collaboration of authors telling holiday tales with a sci-fi romance twist. So I believe there's 7 in the series. They all drop on November 8th. All different authors, all different sci-fi authors. So cool. Yeah, so I'm excited. Last year, on episode 9, our holiday romance. Can you believe our holiday romance was episode 9 last year? We've done a lot of episodes this season. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So last year I spoke about Honey Phillips's Cinta, which was from 2022, and that was stranded with an alien. And it was a Cinta being, a take on Santa. And he was like an abominable snowman that only grew hair when it was cold. Anyway, it was a really enjoyable read. So I was looking to see, does Honey Phillips have, another alien holiday romance? And she did not disappoint. So here's the gist of Rudy. Clarice is grateful for the chance to have left a dying Earth. She just wishes she hadn't ended up somewhere quite so cold. But then she gets thrown into a rescue mission with a huge, muscular alien with glowing skin and antlers. And suddenly things on Norpole are heating up. Rudy has long since accepted that he is different from the rest of his tribe. He's even convinced himself he likes it that way. When Clarice convinces him to help save the holidays, can Rudy be the hero she deserves? And could this frosty planet be hiding a bit of holiday magic for both of them?
I kept my giggles to myself, but I am certainly intrigued. Yeah. The antlers are interesting. We've talked about tentacles. We've talked about horns, antlers. There's something about it that it seems chaotic. I wonder how big the antlers are.
I wonder too, because on the book cover, they only show a little piece of the antlers, not the whole antler. So I don't know if it's because it's huge and menacing looking. So this is a sweet and spicy holiday tale, and has a happily ever after, of course. And all the books in this collection can be read in any order. They're standalones. I am fascinated to know if anything on him glows, because if you're going by Rudy, Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
Oh my God, I'm so dumb. I never even made the connection of Rudy.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Rudolph.
yeah.
I'm thinking Rudy the movie.
We're gonna go, and we're not gonna stop until we get across that goal line.
I'm like, so how does this play into football? No, okay.
Yeah, no, this is Rudy as in Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Rudolph the
Reindeer,
Red-Nosed Reindeer.
which is why,
Okay.
he's the outcast, he's different. So he's different, I guess, because he has antlers, or does a part of him glow?
Oh my God, Liz, if what I think glows, we're doing a special episode just so you can tell us all about
Yeah.
the
Oh my-
glowing whatever.
So anyway, I am looking forward to reading Rudy, a sci-fi holiday romance by Honey Phillips, which releases on November 8th.
And I am excited to hear more about this.
I am too. Like, I am completely like going into this with almost a blank slate because, like you said, antlers is not something that I've come across. So I don't know how that's going to come into play. Are they retractable? They might be.
I was just wondering
retractable.
that if the picture, because I'm thinking like, you know, what you see at in a lodge where they have the heads on the wall and they're huge antlers.
I mean, that's a dark image that you've presented.
Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully they're not gonna, hopefully they're not gonna kill Rudy. But are they gonna mock him? Like, is this literally gonna be like Rudolph and he's like picked on?
I know it might be. I don't know.
I'm surprisingly emotionally invested in this now.
Are you continuing on with the cozy Christmas holiday theme?
Yes, I think this one might be a little bit heavier than the other ones I'm talking about, but judging from the location and the description, we are in Cozy Town, USA, or at least in this situation, Idaho. So my next one on my TBR is The Christmas You Found Me by Sarah Morgenthaler. And that came out in this September of 24 from Sourcebooks Casablanca. And it is book 1 in the Heart of Wilderness series. So we have a new series coming. Tropes include single dad, a marriage of convenience, found family, and it is listed as a slow burn. And from friends I know that have read it already, they said it is slow, but it's good slow. Sometimes the pacing, you're like, this isn't a slow burn. This is just slow.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes. I have recently stopped 2 different books because I was like, this is just slow. It's not good slow. It's
sad trombone slow.
It was.
So the general premise of this one is Sienna Naples' family has taken care of their wild Idaho land for generations, and Sienna can't imagine any other life. But at Christmas time, with her parents gone and her painful marriage finally over, it's full of memories and it's incredibly lonely. So it's lonely until a tall, handsome stranger and a little girl walk into Sienna's life suddenly, and the holidays suddenly feel alive once more. So single dad, Guy Maple, and I just love the name because it seems very like Idaho holiday with the maple. I don't know. There's
Wait,
maple anything.
The male protagonist's name is Guy
Maple. I'm not making this up.
What is the daughter's name?
The daughter's name is Emma.
Oh, that's disappointing. I thought it was going to be
Girl
Maple.
So Guy Maple, now I can't say his name with a straight face.
Well, what's interesting is then Sienna, what was it? Sienna
Oh,
Naples?
wait a minute. Naples and Maple. That didn't even click when I read it the first time because I didn't read it out loud. Now it's like all I can think about.
Sienna Naples and Guy Maple.
Maple. I wonder if that plays a part in the story at all, because the next part of this very long description says that Guy Maple shows up as the result of an ad meant to be a joke. So I'm wondering if there's something with the names.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be making this up.
Yeah, I am confounded.
Yes, I'm confounded too. All the more reason to read this book, I suppose.
Yes, I need you to read it and explain it to me.
And I will report back.
Thank you.
We'll see what glows on Rudy and we'll see what Guy Maple's story is.
Sounds like a deal.
So Guy and his daughter Emma were living in Montana, and he is a construction worker, but money is tight, and his daughter Emma, unfortunately, has a medical condition. Half of the back of the book discusses this medical condition. I'm going to just breeze over it and just say it's chronic and she needs some help.
There's detailed discussion of the illness on the back of the book.
Yes.
Do you
Actually,
think,
well, I'll just read it now because now I can't tease it and not say
well,
it.
I'm wondering if that is taking the place of a content warning. It's like, hey, we want you to know.
Maybe because
Yeah.
she's listed as being a young girl, and it says that she has stage 5 chronic kidney disease and needs a kidney transplant. But
Jesus.
Guy can't prove that he can afford her anti-rejection medications, which is why he agrees to a marriage of convenience with our heroine Sienna.
Okay, now we've talked about this too, about marriage of convenience for healthcare. That
And
seems,
usually it's kidney related. So I don't know if that's just, and I don't, for those of you who
is
have
this a
kidney
thing?
issues, I do not want to make it sound like this is a light-hearted situation, but I feel like I've read at least in the last 2 years, at least 2 books I can think of that dealt with like, we're getting married because I have a kidney problem and I need better insurance.
I
So
wonder if this is a thing. Is this a thing that's happening?
I don't know. And I'm also not to be cold-hearted, but I'm wondering if this is easier to have in a story than something like cancer. You know what I mean? Like maybe the symptoms are more manageable compared to something else that could be
Mm,
chronic. I don't know. It just seems
yeah.
interesting that kidney is like the new
Um,
it's the hot new disease.
this is amazing. This is why I love doing this show, because
I
as
know
we
because
talk, we start to see patterns and,
I'm assuming they're not going to let this anything bad happen to this little girl, but
God, I hope
judging
not.
from the back of the book, obviously it's a romance, so Guy and Sienna are going to fall in love. It sounds like Emma and Sienna hit it off right away. And so we have someone coming out of a divorce, a single dad with a sick daughter. They're gonna be together on this Idaho farm over the holidays, and this marriage of convenience will hopefully become a marriage of love or something sweet, super sappy. So I am incredibly excited to read it because I just word vomited a bunch of stuff about it, but I genuinely have enjoyed Sarah Morgenthaler's other books. Her Moose Springs series, I think they came out about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I devoured all 3 of those. The first one especially. And again, I know from how the descriptions are, they're not going to be, comparable. But I'm still excited. I have enjoyed her writing. The way that she describes the yearning, the attraction, the inner monologue, she does a really nice job with she pulls at your heartstrings. And so the fact that she did that with more lighthearted romances with Moose Springs, I'm anxious to see how she does that here in The Christmas You Found Me, with obviously some serious subject matter. So she has great storytelling abilities, and I'm willing to roll the dice on her with this new series. No hesitation on my part. So that was The Christmas You Found Me by Sarah Morgenthaler. It's already out, and it's from Sourcebooks Casablanca. So, Liz, I've gone cozy. I've gone potentially sad cozy. You've taken us to outer space. Where are you taking us next?
Oh, well, I'm giving you a break from outer space.
Okay,
So
okay.
we're gonna go back to Earth, but this is a romance cozy mystery,
Oh,
and it's a locked door mystery. One of those where like someone disappears or someone's murdered in a locked room, and it's like, how did that happen?
yeah. Kind of like
Yeah.
an Agatha Christie vibe is what I always think
Yes.
of with that.
Yes. So on my holiday TBR, I have The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year.
Oh, I like the title.
It's a great pop art book cover.
Fun.
It's really great. It's an enemies to lovers Christmas romance and a cozy mystery set in the English countryside.
Mm.
It is by Ali Carter, and it released on September 24th, 2024 by Avon. Here's what it's about. Knives Out gets a holiday rom-com twist in this rivals to lovers romance mystery from New York Times bestselling author Ali Carter. The bridge is out, the phones are down, and the most famous mystery writer in the world has just disappeared out of a locked room 2 days before Christmas. Meet Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. She's the new queen of the cozy mystery. He's Mr. Big Time Thriller Guy. She hates his guts. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she's told him otherwise. But when they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a reclusive fan, neither is expecting their host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. Let me just stop here and tell you, I love all stories where a group of people are assembled because they all received a cryptic invitation to
Yes,
dinner.
yes. I just was thinking the same thing. I'm like
Okay.
giddy about this.
One of my favorite movies is Clue, and I actually
Mhm.
just rewatched it the other day. I want to receive in the mail before I die a mysterious invitation to go to an unknown house hosted by someone I've never met.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
So that night, the weather turns, and the next morning, Eleanor is gone. She vanished from a locked room. As the snow gets deeper and the stakes get higher, every clue will bring Maggie and Ethan closer to the truth and to each other. Because this Christmas, these two rivals are going to have to become allies, and maybe more, if they have any hope of saving Eleanor, assuming they don't kill each other first. So,
Ooh.
yeah, I am in the mood to shake it up. I don't think I've read a romance mystery set during Christmas. I've read
No.
mysteries set during Christmas, but not a romance mystery. So I'm very excited about this.
I'm intrigued.
Even though it's romance mystery and it's enemies to lovers and they hook you with that trope that, oh, there's the promise of the trope. I don't expect it to be super romancy, and I'm okay with that. That being said, I am excited to read The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. What have you next for us, Libby?
A Christmas Eve love story by Ginny Baird, which comes out later this month from Sourcebooks Casablanca. And again, my memory's a sieve, and I know it was only a year ago. I can't remember if I talked about her other Christmas book, The Holiday Mix-Up, that came up last year. I know I loved it. I know I read it in December, but for the life of me, I can't remember if I ever talked about it on the show.
I think you did. And then I had Ginny Baird on one of Reader Seeks Romance Channel's holiday panels last year, where she also talked about it. And it's interesting because you're dipping a little bit into Liz Donatelli territory with this one.
Oh, really? Because of the premise of it and stuff, or
Yes,
just
I'll let
okay.
you continue on, and it sounds like a Liz book because
I could see it being
yeah.
a Liz book. Christmas Eve love story. This is basically Groundhog Day meets a time travel type element. So the general premise of this one is Annie Jones works hard designing windows for the iconic New York City department store Lawson's Finest.
Window decorating has a special place in my heart because I love the Mannequin movie.
I was just thinking of Mannequin. It was Andrew McCarthy and Kim Cattrall and Estelle Getty. That's all that you need to know.
And Meshach Taylor, who also was in Design of Women, is Hollywood. His name is Hollywood.
Yes. Oh my God, I forgot.
And he dresses the windows and everything.
I freaking love that movie. And I have it on VHS, but I don't have a VCR anymore. So I have to see if I can find it streaming because I haven't watched it in ages, but I love it.
Christmas Eve love story, take 2.
Okay, so here's the general premise. Annie Jones works hard designing windows for the iconic New York City department store Lawson's Finest. So when her Christmas window display gets upended by some rambunctious kids on Christmas Eve, the all too realistic store Santa gives Annie a little decorating tip on how to start over. With help from friendly security guard Braden Tate.
Braden Tate sounds like a villain in the movie Mannequin. Like it sounds like an 80s villain.
Totally does.
Braden Tate. Okay, carry on.
Anyway, so we have our friendly security guard, Braden, who helps Annie repair the damage, and then they head home. But when she wakes up the next morning, she's bewildered to find that it's not Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve all over again. So she is trapped in a time loop, and Annie doesn't know how she'll ever make it back to the present. Luckily, she has an infinite number of chances to get things right. So as every day chooses to bring her closer to the real Christmas and Braden, Annie starts to picture what her new life could look like. And it could be one filled with friendship, love, and community. So it sounds charming. Obviously, as we've discussed ad nauseum, it has Mannequin vibes. I have always enjoyed Ginny Baird's writing. I think she has 2 other series that are wedding focused. And these came out several years ago. I like her writing because her character development is great. But the thing I really loved last year with the holiday mix-up, that was the whole while you were sleeping vibe. I just loved everything about that one last year. I loved how supportive the secondary characters were, and they were there just enough to keep the story going, but not enough. Because sometimes you read it and you're like, I don't care what the grandmother's doing. Like if the grandmother's not important to the plot, like she's cute and she's quirky, but get the heck out of here. Not the case with Ginny Baird's book. So I am super stoked to read Christmas Eve Love Story by Ginny Baird from Sourcebooks Casablanca. We've been to space. We've been to England. Where are we going next?
We're going back to space.
Oh, all right.
And we're actually going back to the same series, the Rescued by an Alien collection. This is called Pine, Pyne. So Pine as in a pine Christmas tree. Pine, a sci-fi holiday romance, is by Alana Khan. And here is the gist. And I already know what you're going to say as soon as I say it. Okay. In an alien holiday baking competition, and I know you know how much I've said I don't enjoy reading about baking in books.
Yes.
Okay. But for
Sorry.
some reason, I immediately thought of all these exotic interplanetary foods and desserts. And I said, oh, that could be interesting. I don't know.
That's true.
They might just make
Yeah.
Victoria sponge or things that you would get on Earth. I don't know.
Pouring gingerbread spaceships.
That would be adorable. So, in an alien holiday baking competition, a gladiator and a human chef must navigate lethal challenges and the sizzling chemistry that threatens to consume them both. So, the rest of the book description is written in first person. Becca, kidnapped and forced into an alien culinary death match, I must rely on a gruff and gorgeous gladiator. His fierce protection and heated glances are more tempting than the grand prize itself, my freedom. With each challenge more treacherous than the last and the stakes rising, can we survive the contest and the dangerous attraction between us? Now, this is Pine's point of view. Thrust into this absurd holiday baking contest at gunpoint, my instincts scream to protect Becca at all costs. Her resilience and fiery spirit touch my heart and set my blood on fire. As the competition heats up, I'll wield every weapon, face every challenge, and take down anyone who threatens her, because winning her heart is the ultimate prize. So,
he sounds like a bit of a sweetheart.
He does. And it says a human chef. Becca is the one who bakes. I don't know if it's going to be traditional Earth desserts or because it's held in, space. It's got to be that, not, ginger might not be available.
True.
This is a sweet and spicy holiday enemies to lovers, one bed, opposites attract romance. So there's adventures and hair-raising challenges that the Galactic Love Muffin Baking Team. Okay, I'm done. All right. So anyway, that's
the show, everybody. Good night.
That's the show. So they apparently call themselves the Galactic Love Muffin Baking Team. So Pine releases November 8th by USA Today bestselling author Alana Khan. And I'm excited to dig in because there's a lot. There's a lot going on. And
did he have antlers? Branches?
No. Pine is just green.
Oh, and maybe he smells piney.
I was going to say something that's bawdy, but maybe there's something about him that when it releases smells like pine.
Oh, like sap.
Oh my God. Yeah, like sap.
Ugh.
And I'm guessing just like sap, it'll get all in her hair.
Ew.
And it'll be hard to get rid of.
He's got a sword.
You're very excited about this.
It's a big sword.
Yeah, I wonder if that's indicative of other sword-like qualities he possesses.
Potentially. I mean, I hope it's not that big. It'll rip her in half.
Oh, my.
Maybe the pine smell of whatever's going on down there is an aphrodisiac, so she doesn't, and it also puts her in a bit of a trance, so she doesn't realize how big the pine's sword is.
I was going to say it puts her in a trance so she feels the holiday spirit, but yeah, you're probably right.
What you're saying is probably better than what I'm saying. So
I was thinking you would have the effect of a scented candle. Like I have my balsam candle I light starting December 1st, to get the vibe.
Yeah. She just goes and she kneels down. She smells his crotch to get into the mood, the Christmas spirit.
Anyway,
oh man, I don't know.
Great episode. Happy holidays, everyone.
This has gone off the rails, and I think that's our roundup.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
And that's our roundup. Watch Romance Roundup on Reader Seeks Romance channel and subscribe on YouTube. Listen to Romance Roundup on PodBean and all podcast apps. Thanks for joining us, romance readers.
Happy reading, everyone.